Hey everybody, it's Mr. Schwartz again. I am back with two more videos about operant conditioning. I hope everyone's doing okay. In this first video, we are going to review some of the concepts from operant conditioning that we went over last week. And in the second video, I will walk you through how to do your assignment, the operant conditioning worksheet. All of this is in preparation for the operant conditioning quiz, which you will also have to complete. Before I go further, I want to apologize if anyone has watched any of my prior videos, and I'm not so sure they came out exactly the way I wanted them to. So I'm trying a new software tonight, and hopefully it goes better. I think it will. So let's give it a shot. All right, so this is the operant conditioning review, and this is going to reiterate a lot of the basics that we did in the last operant conditioning lesson. A lot of this stuff is going to be especially relevant for your assignment and for the operant conditioning quiz. So pay attention, take notes, you know the drill. Okay, remember, in psychology, when we talk about learning, we're talking about changes in behavior. And so operant conditioning is a type of learning in which the consequences of behavior determine whether or not the behavior is likely to increase or decrease in the future. So we learn as a result of the consequences of our actions. That's basically the gist of operant conditioning. But we need to learn the language of operant conditioning. We can't just get the gist of it. We need to learn how to talk like we know what we're talking about. In operant conditioning, any consequence that makes it more likely that you will act similarly in the future is called a reinforcement. And a consequence that decreases the likelihood of acting on that same behavior in the future is called a punishment. So reinforcers, which would be a behavior is performed, the behavior is reinforced, the behavior is likely to be performed again in the future. If a behavior is performed and that behavior is punished, then that behavior is less likely to be performed in the future. And we're talking about it could almost be almost any behavior. So those are our first two vocab words, reinforcement and punishment. Okay? The next two vocab words that we need to learn are positive and negative. But we need to learn positive and negative in context of operant conditioning. In operant conditioning, positive and negative does not mean good and bad. That's something that we easily get confused. We think of a punishment as negative and a reinforcement as positive, but that's not true. A reinforcement and a punishment can be positive or negative. There's positive reinforcement and there's negative reinforcement, and there's positive punishment and there's negative punishment. In operant conditioning, positive means something is added, and negative means something is subtracted. So don't think good or bad, think positive plus, negative minus, addition and subtraction. Okay? So we've got our four different ways of um, learning through operant conditioning. Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. Positive punishment, negative punishment. The your assignment and the quiz essentially is being able to identify situations correctly and identify the behavior that's being targeted and whether or not that behavior is being modified through reinforcement or punishment. That's the first distinction. And then whether that reinforcement or punishment is positive or negative. Um, Again, positive reinforcement would be the addition of something desired that makes it more likely for you to increase your behavior in the future. Okay? So let's look in the upper left square, positive reinforcement. A student got an A because he studied a lot. Getting that A, the addition of that good grade and the good feeling that goes along with it, makes it more likely that that student will study for tests in the future. Positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement is, for example, in this image, it looks like a mom is putting sunscreen on her child. So making it more likely that in the future she will continue to apply sunscreen because what's being taken away, what's being removed is the unwanted thing, which in this case would be a sunburn, right? Now, this assumes that they've experienced sunburn and have learned from the experience that they want to avoid sunburn. So they increase the likelihood of applying suntan lotion in the future because the last time they applied suntan lotion, they avoided the sunburn. So they took away the sunburn, that's what was removed, and the behavior that's increased is applying suntan lotion. Negative reinforcement is always going to be a little tricky because we're talking about something being taken away to increase the likelihood of behavior. Let's look in the punishment column on the right-hand side. First is positive punishment. Now remember, positive doesn't mean good. Positive means something is being added. Punishment means to decrease the likelihood of a behavior occurring in the future. If, in this instance, the behavior, say, is speeding, getting a ticket as a consequence for speeding, less likely that you'll speed in the future. The positive punishment of receiving the ticket decreases the likelihood of speeding in the future. And conversely, negative punishment is taking away something that's, in this case, desired in order, again, to decrease behavior in the future. So let's say getting your license suspended if you get arrested for drunk driving. Well, taking away something decreases the likelihood that you'll drive drunk in the future. Okay? Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment. And that's really the gist, okay? In the assignment, in the worksheet, we're going to go through a lot more examples. So you'll have a lot of opportunities to practice. So what I want you to do now is open and watch the next video, which is going to be me actually going through the worksheet and writing out the answers for the first few problems. So open the video, watch the video, maybe take some notes, maybe work on your assignment, have two screens up at the same time, however you want to do it, however works best for you. If you can edit in the document itself, that would be cool. You know, whatever your solution is, go for it. But definitely you want to watch the next video because I'm going to be showing you essentially how to do the homework, and that's going to also help you learn what you need to know for the quiz. All right, I will see you all over at the next video. If I can figure out how to get out of here. All right.